Everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie, and today I'm here to do a video talking about the top 10 books that I want to read in 2019. So in 2019, I really want to beat this freaking reading slump that I have been in since the middle of June. It is about time I conquered it, and I'll talk about this more in my December wrap up, but I am starting to feel the slump going away, so hopefully that is the case. It will be gone by the end of January. That is my goal. But there are a ton of books that I could have included on this list, but I narrowed it down to the top 10 that I really do want to get to. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right in and talk about those books. So the first book that I want to read in 2019 is The Poppy War by R. Kwong. So this was a pretty hyped up book here on BookTube over the summer of 2018. It is a adult dark fantasy book, and it is inspired by East Asian culture. And other than that, I don't really know too much about it. It has been getting somewhat mixed reviews on Goodreads, but I've heard mostly positive things from booktubers that I personally follow, so that's interesting. I also really love this cover, so really excited to check this one out. The next book that I have to talk about and that I want to read in 2019 is one I think I might have had on last year's list as well, which I'll go ahead and link that video in the cards for you guys, but that is The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling, of course, is the author of Harry Potter, which is my favorite book series of all time. And ever since I read Harry Potter, which was getting close to 10 years ago now for the first time, I wanted to read more by J.K. Rowling. Now, she has this book out, which is an adult mystery thriller. She also has another trilogy out under her pen name, Robert Galbraith. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And that is a psychological thriller series as well. So, yeah, that's basically all I know about this book. It is a thriller, and from what I have gathered from the synopsis, this main character, inherits some sort of fortune from a distant relative, and there's a whole mystery surrounding that, so that's interesting. Hopefully I enjoyed this. This doesn't have the best reviews either on Goodreads. Even booktubers I follow haven't really loved this book as much as they have Harry Potter, so I'm going in with the mindset knowing that it's not going to be as spectacular as Harry Potter, but hopefully I will enjoy it nonetheless. The book that I want to read in 2019 is a book by an author that I absolutely love, and that is The Boy with a Thorn in His Side by Pete Wentz. Now, this is a nonfiction book. Pete Wentz wrote my favorite book of all time, Gray, which I have an entire story video on that. I will link that in the cards as well. But this is his first published novel. It came out in 2005. It is out of print currently, but I was able to find this copy on Amazon for like $30, so I snatched it up right away. It is really, really tiny, as you guys can see. It's less than 200 pages long. I definitely could finish this in one sitting. It is short stories based off of the nightmares that Pete once had as a child, and they're compiled into this one tiny book, and there is sketches throughout, so that's just an example of that. So really cool. This might be perfect to read around Halloween time, so maybe I'll read it then. Really looking forward to it nonetheless. This book on the list is one I actually started a couple of years ago before I was on BookTube, but just never got around to finishing. It is Binge by Tyler Oakley. Tyler Oakley is a YouTuber. I'll go ahead and link his channel down below, but this is his autobiography. It's also kind of a short story collection as well, based off his life. And like I said, I started reading this in like 2015, I would say. I started BookTube in 2016, so yeah, probably late 2015 is when I started reading this. I was enjoying it at the time. There was nothing wrong with it, and nothing that really made me want to put it down. I just ended up putting it down for different reasons. I'm not sure why. So I want to pick it up. One of my goals for 2019 is to read more nonfiction, so hopefully this will be the start of that. Next, we have a book by an author that just kind of blew up in 2018 because of one of his releases, and this book is Unwind by Neal Shusterman. Neal Shusterman has written many series. This is the one he's most well known for overall. His Sight series really blew up last year when Thunderhead came out back in January of last year, and that sounded really interesting, but I did want to start with his earlier work. So this is a dystopian book. Is young adult dystopian, I believe, yeah. And it follows a world where abortion has been outlawed, but in place of that, I guess you could say. I hope that's the correct wording. Parents can choose to have their child unwound, so basically they have their organs taken out and donated to like people who actually need it if they like cause trouble or something. So it follows two characters who are trying to escape that reality that they might face, from what I am gathering. So really interesting. You guys know dystopian is actually my favorite genre, and I don't read enough of it, so I'm looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. A book by an author that I have read and loved in the past is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. John Green, I have read almost all of his work. I have read The Fault in Our Stars, Looking for Alaska, and Paper Towns. I have not read An Abundance of Catherines or this book yet, but this one is his newest release. It came out in 2017, and it is Own Voices for OCD, which I've never read about a character with OCD, so that is really interesting, and I've heard fantastic things about the representation of OCD in this book, and I heard it's done really well. The plot line I'm not very clear on because I heard not the best things about that on its own, but hopefully there's some substance to it that I like, whether it's the representation or the plot itself. I'm really interested to see what I think and give John Green another chance because it's been years since I last read a book by him. Another really popular book that kind of blew up on BookTube last year was Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. So this is the first book in a duology, and it is Laini Taylor's second series that she has written, and I'd never read her Daughter of a Spoken Bone trilogy that came out years ago. I do have an interest in reading it, just not at this moment, but I really think Strange the Dreamer will be something that I love. It is a YA high fantasy book. It follows our main character Laszlo Strange, who is a librarian, and he has always been fascinated with this city called Weep, which is a city that's pretty much fallen off the face of the earth. Nobody really actually remembers the name of the city, and one day these visitors from Weep come to the town in which Laszlo is living, looking for people who are like the best at their craft to bring to Weep and learn more about the city, and so on and so forth. So that sounds really interesting. Also, this cover is just straight up beautiful. Like, let's face it, guys, this cover, if I hadn't known the plot about this before, it would totally be a cover buy, but looking forward to reading this. The second and last book that I would like to read in 2019 is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. Now, I have read Marissa Meyer's books in the past. I read Heartless in 2016, and I DNF'd Cinder actually earlier that year. And I really like Marissa Meyer's writing style. I will give her full credit for that. I really enjoy it. The one problem I've always had with her books that I have read has been her plot lines. Her characters and writing style, again, will be very, very nice. However, the plot lines just do not click with me. It was especially prevalent in Heartless, where I just found myself very bored the entire time. But I've heard complete opposite things about Renegades. I heard this is pretty action-packed. It is YA science fiction, and it follows a world where these people called the Renegades rule over this city. They are the superhero kind of people in the story, and then they are also those people called the Anarchists, who are the supervillains, obviously, and they are trying to overthrow the Renegades. It follows two characters, Nova, and the other guy's name is Adrian, and Nova is an anarchist, Adrian is a renegade, and Nova sneaks into the renegade compound and kind of becomes a spy, and then meets Adrian, and it takes off from there. So I really hope that I get along with this book. I really hope that this doesn't make me give up on Marissa Meyer as an author, because I really do want to like her books. So we'll see what this has in store. Last book that I would like to read in 2019 is a big chunker of a book. That is It by Stephen King. You guys know I started reading Stephen King's books last February, and I was obsessed with them, and I want to continue that into 2019. It is probably his most famous work of all. I don't really need to explain what this book is about. I'm sure everybody has heard of it at some point or another. I have just now started reading his horror stuff, which would be like Misery and Carrie, and then It is probably the most classic one of all. So I'm honestly not only scared of the size of this book, but the content, because I hate clowns, and I heard there's some not so good stuff towards the ending about some scenes that happen. I haven't been spoiled for anything, but I need to go in with an open mind given the content that I kind of know happens at the end. So, yeah. This one is just staring at me on my TV shelf all the time. I'm like, read me, Jackie, read me. I'm like, I will. Maybe I'll get the audiobook for you. We'll see. Hopefully this happens this year, guys. And that's all I'm going to have for this video, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give a big thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already. Normally, I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but I am doing a whole series of videos to kick off 2019, so stay tuned for that. I'll be sure to let me know in the comments down below what the books you want to read in 2019 are, as I would love to know. And as always, all my social media links are linked down below for you guys to go check out if you'd like to follow me on any of those. And with that, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you soon for another video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye!